Yeah, so once again, good morning, everyone. Welcome to yet another online tutorial on principles of communication system. Right. So, as we have first internals scheduled from 3rd of November, in today's session, we will discuss like the topics for first internal and how to study that, or what are the different aspects which you should stress while studying, um, while preparing for first internal, right? So before that, we have to complete whatever we have been doing in last session, that is wideband FM. So in last session we have obtained the time domain expression of wideband FM signal, and even we obtained the frequency domain expression. So that I should tell you like what actually is this Bessel's function, right? We have come across Bessel's function in that session, right? I should tell you what actually is Bessel's function. I should show you the Bessel function table and how to use it. So maybe I'll also discuss some of the possible kinds of problem which you can expect from this second module, that is frequency modulation, right? So then we'll move on to the first internal topics. So one unfortunate thing is most of you have not watched the video which I have posted. So there may be right many valid reason, right? Some invalid reasons, whatever, right? So I just wanted everyone to watch that, but most of you have not watched it. But those who have not watched, right? So please watch that. That is very very important. The derivation of wideband FM, right? So in um, say in second module we have only two topics for first internal, that is narrowband FM and wideband FM, right? So second, someone is trying to enter. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so this is what we have derived in last section, starting from the expression for narrowband FM, right? I have derived the expression for this wideband FM signals. The time domain expression is this: S of t is equal to AC n from minus infinity to infinity j n beta cos 2 pi fc plus n FM t. Right. So this is the time domain expression for wideband FM. Right. And this j n beta, it is nothing but what? Nth order Bessel's function with argument beta, right? And it's a Bessel's function of first kind, right? So what is the Bessel's function? That again I have mentioned in previous video, right? So Bessel's function is nothing but what? An integral of this form, right? An integral of the form 1 by 2 pi integral minus pi to pi e power j beta x minus beta sin x minus nx dx. This is actually what nth order Bessel's function with argument beta, and it's a Bessel function of first kind, right? So that Bessel's function, right, like how we have used normal distribution table and all, for Bessel's function also table is available, right? So for different values of n and for different values of beta, right, we have standard tables. So in for university exams, right, those tables will be given to you if a problem is there from this particular um, topic, right? So Bessel's function table will be given. So I'll introduce you to Bessel's function table. So before that, we'll try and interpret what actually is this S of t, right? S of t is AC, where AC is carrier amplitude. Then we have Jn of beta, that is nothing but what? The n Bessel's function, right? Nth order Bessel's function with modulation index as argument. So you can see this n will vary from minus infinity to infinity, that is 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2. So j0 of beta, right, if n is equal to 0, you can see this nfm, that will be 0. So what we'll get is cos 2 pi fct, right? So AC jn beta cos 2 pi fct, right? So that will be the term for n is equal to 0. I request everyone to please concentrate on this, right? So when n is equal to 0, we'll get AC j0 of beta cos 2 pi fct, that is the carrier term, right? So when n is equal to plus or minus 1, we'll get actually what? J 1 of beta or j minus 1 of beta, and this will be what? Cos 2 pi Fc plus Fm or Fc minus Fm. That will be, right, first upper sideband and lower sideband, right? So for n is equal to plus or minus 1, this will become actually what? Cos 2 pi Fc plus Fm or cos 2 pi Fc minus Fm. That will be first upper or lower sideband, right? First sideband, right? So then similarly, when n is equal to plus or minus 2, we will get actually what? The higher sidebands. So in fact, if you see this, right? In fact, if you see this, frequency modulated signal, especially wideband signal, it will have the sideband components Fc plus Fm plus or minus Fm, Fc plus or minus 2 Fm, Fc plus or minus 3 Fm, right? So those components will be there. So this is the time domain expression. I think it will be even more clear when we plot the frequency domain spectra, right? So if we apply Fourier transform of S of t, if we apply Fourier transform of f of t, we'll get S of f, right? So for that Jn beta, it is a constant. So Jn beta, right, it's a constant. So Jn beta we can keep as such. But cos 2 pi fct or cos of something times t, right, or cos 2 pi fc plus nfm t, we know the Fourier transform of that will be half of del of f minus something plus del of f plus something, right? So that something here is, you can see, fc plus nfm. So Fourier transform of this, what I have written in bracket, that is actually what? Half of del of f minus n f minus fc minus nfm plus del of f plus fc plus nfm. So this is something which we have seen earlier also, right? So we can write S of f is equal to AC by 2 j n summation n from minus infinity to infinity j n beta del of f minus something plus del of f plus something. So that something is here actually what? Fc minus nfm, and this is fc plus nfm, right? So we will have impulses at plus fc minus nfm. So I'll just try and draw this, right? For this, I'll just try and plot the diagram, so then you will be able to appreciate it, right? So for n is equal to 0, it will be AC by 2 J0 of beta and del of f minus fc and del of f plus fc. So if this is our, sorry, and I'll just plot this, right? If this is our this is frequency domain, right? So if this is the magnitude spectra, right? So first term will be, we'll have one at plus fc, one impulse at plus fc, and one more impulse at minus fc, right? What will be the magnitude of this? It will be AC by 2 J0 of beta, right? So its magnitude will be AC by 2 J0 of beta, right? So then for n is equal to 2, we'll get del of fc minus nfm and fc plus nfm, right? So we'll get for, you can just substitute when n is equal to, so those who have not watched previous video, right, you don't have to get confused. If you watch the previous video, I have just given you the detailed derivation, so you will understand, right? So those who have watched, they may be able to follow this. Those who have not watched, they may not be able to follow this. Even if you don't have to bother, if you watch that, you will be able to follow it. And I'll share this entire derivation, what I have written, same image as such I'll put in Canvas today, right? So yeah, so it will be for n is equal to 1, it or plus or minus 1, we'll get del of fc minus nfm. If it is n, if n is equal to plus 1, if n is equal to plus 1, we'll get plus or fc minus fm, and when n is equal to minus 1, we'll get fc plus fm. So we will have, right, fc plus fm and fc minus fm. So similarly on negative frequency axis also we'll have, right? So I'll plot this. This is fc, this is fc plus fm, this is fc minus fm, right? And this is minus fc, so on and so forth, right? So similarly for plus or minus 2, we will get components here, and we'll get components here. Plus or minus 3, we will get components here. So what will be magnitude of each? Magnitude of each will be, right, you can see magnitude of each will be AC by 2 Jn of beta, right? AC by 2 Jn of beta. So it is a function of modulation index. It is a function of modulation index and also the sideband number. So this is carrier, this is carrier, this is first sideband. These two are first sideband, right? These two are second sideband, right? These two are third sideband, right? These two are third sideband. So these are n actually, 1, 2, 3. What I've drawn here, written here are n, right? So depending upon n and beta, the amplitude will change. So what actually is amplitude of each component? That is AC by 2 Jn beta. So this Jn beta is nothing but what Bessel's function. So like how you had actually what normal distribution table when you were studying in smaller semester, you might have seen normal distribution table, right? For different values of z, what is say f of z. So similarly here you can see we do have a Bessel's function table, right? So you can see here for the case of carrier modulated by a single sine wave. So what you have to remember is all these are for single tone FM signal, simplest of the case. So single tone FM signal we have divided into two. One is narrow band FM when beta is very small, right? And one is wide band FM, beta is large compared to 1, right? So this case what we are discussing now is wideband FM. So you can see here, right? So when they mention carrier, that is equal to what? That is n is equal to 0. Carrier means n is equal to 0, right? So if for carrier Jn of beta, so this is whatever is written here in this table, that is Jn of beta, and these are actually what? First column it is beta value, right? And in this row, this is actually what? N values. N values are there in these rows, right? For different values of beta, for different values of n, j and beta values are given here, right? You can see if beta is equal to 0, right, there is only j0 of beta, right? J0 of beta, all other terms are 0. What does that mean? If beta is equal to 0, only j0 of beta means that is the carrier alone what we are transmitting, right? If beta is equal to 0, right, there is only j0 of beta, no sidebands, that is unmodulated carrier. Beta equal to 0 means we are transmitting unmodulated carrier. And for beta equal to 0.25, you can see J0 of beta value is 0.98 and J1 of beta value is 0.12, right? What does that mean? So maybe for beta equal to 0.25, I can plot the spectrum. The spectrum will be something like this. I'll plot it here, right? So we have FC term is there, FC term is there. That will be AC, this J and AC by 2 J 0 beta, right? So if you assume AC is equal to 1, someone is trying to join in, I think. I'll just, thanks sir. Right, okay, fine, yeah. Yeah, so so we have this equal to, right, amplitude of carrier is equal to 1 by 2. If AC equal to 1, it will be 1 by 2 times 0.98. Amplitude of carrier will be 1 by 2 times 0.98. This one will be equal to 1 by 2 times 0.98, right? And first sideband, right, we'll have upper sideband and lower sideband. First set of sidebands. These first upper sideband and lower sideband will have same magnitude, right? So that will be equal to, these amplitudes will be equal to AC by 2 J plus or minus 1 of beta, right? Plus or minus 1 of beta, right? That will be equal to half times 0.12. Half times 0.12. This will be the magnitude. So you can see there are, if in this case beta is actually what, small, in that case only, I've told this in last class also, when beta is small, only J0 and J1 will exist, only two. So this is actually what similar to our single tone AM, right? Carrier and upper sideband and lower sideband. And we have seen this is actually what, that of narrowband FM, right? So when beta is small, it reduces to a wideband FM, actually what reduces to narrowband FM, that is a carrier, an upper sideband and a lower sideband. right? When beta is small. So as beta increases, you can see we'll have to consider more and more number of sidebands. As beta increases, we'll have to consider more and more number of sidebands. So normally in exam, how they used to ask problemers, right? So they may give you say time domain expression, right? Or they may give you beta values and ask you to plot the spectrum. So while plotting spectrum, you should, right? If beta value say is 0.3, right? If beta is equal to zero point 0.3, sorry, if beta is equal to zero point 0.3, what will be j values? If beta is equal to zero point 0.3, you can see there is no like entry for beta equal to zero point 0.3, but if you know it is actually what between 0.25 and zero point 0.5, right? So we'll solve problems, right? I'll solve the problems later in I'll solve it and upload it later, but now I'm giving you an idea in case if problems are there from this, right? So what will happen is, so if beta is zero point 0.3, right, you can, it's between 0.25 and zero point 0.5, right? So maybe you can take average of these two, right? Average of these two, right? And you can take what this one to be equal to say 0, and you can take average of, for j2 of beta you can take average of 0 and zero point 0.3, right? Or else you can take the closest value also, whichever you want you can do, right? So but you have to mention. So this Bessel's function table will be given and you may have to plot a spectrum, right? So anyhow, we'll solve a problem later. So I just told this here, right? So I think this Bessel function table, it's I think it's clear for you now how what is Bessel's function table, and how to use it. And those who have not watched the previous video, right, I request them to watch that. That is very important. For sure you'll get a question, right? Why? Because only two topics are there from second module, so those two topics are, right, really important. I don't have to tell that, you know that, right? So NBFM and WB wideband FM, right? So this is what is a wideband FM. So now we have, okay, maybe I'll just stop this here for the time being, right? I'll just stop this here for the time being, and maybe after discussing the topics for first internal, I'll leave you maybe some 15-20 minutes early, right? And if anyone has any doubt, can stay back and ask me, right? So those who have not watched previous video, right, for them I'll just show what we have done in previous video. So this was a big derivation, right? This entire derivation was done in previous video. I'll share this. I can export this into an image and I'll share this with you, right? So that's all about actually what WBFM, right? One kind of problem which you can get, that also I told. And maybe in FM we have not solved any problem. Maybe one more kind of problem which you can expect from FM, that I'll just discuss now. One second, I'll just import it. One second. Right. So I'll okay. Excuse me. Yeah. So now one more kind of problem which you can expect, right? So maybe we'll solve a small problem within 5 minutes, and then we'll move on to the first internal test portions, right? So in FM, right? In FM, right? We have solved similar kind of problem in AM. S of t will be given. S of t, the time single tone FM, the standard expression is S of t is equal to AC cos of 2 pi FCT plus beta sine 2 pi FMT. So please listen very carefully, right? So this is the standard expression for single tone FM, right? Where AC is carrier amplitude, FC is carrier frequency, beta is modulation, index, and beta is equal to delta f by fm, where delta f in turn is actually what? Kf into am divided by fm, where kf is frequency sensitivity, right? Frequency sensitivity in hertz per volt, right? Kf is frequency sensitivity, am is, as you know, amplitude of message signal, fm is frequency of message signal. So this is beta, and whatever is given here, that is fm is actually what? Message frequency. So this is the standard expression for single tone fm. So you may be, maybe we can try and solve a problem. So I'll just write a time domain expression here. So s of t is equal to, right, say 20 cos 1000 pi t, sorry, not 1000, say 10 power 4 um, pi t, right? 20 cos 10 power 4 pi t plus say zero point 0.6 sine 300 pi t, right? So if you have such an expression, right, you are given such an expression, so you will be asked to find out, right? Maybe whatever you can find out from this, right? You'll be asked to, maybe you'll be asked to find out what is AC, right? So in this, we'll try and list down what is AC. Excuse me, 1 second. Right. Hmm? Right. Kindly give me a 1 or 2 seconds. I'll just be back. Hmm? Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So here we can see AC is 20 volt, right? And what is FC? Can anyone tell me what is FC? FC, we have to find out. So this is actually what this term is, 2 pi FCT, right? So we can write 2 pi FC is equal to 10 power 4 pi, which implies FC is equal to, what will be FC? It will be 10 power 4 pi divided by 2 pi. So that pi and pi get cancelled. So it is actually what? 10 power 4 by 2 hertz. That is how we can find out FC, right? And what will be FM? FM here. Can you tell me what is FM? FM, right? So here this entire thing, sine of something, this is 2 pi FMT. So 2 pi FM here will be, 2 pi FM will be equal to 300 pi, and FM will be 300 pi divided by 2 pi. So that will be equal to, say, 150 hertz, right? FM you can find as 150 hertz. So now this is beta, right? This is beta. And if you are asked to find out what is KF, right? If you are asked to find out KF, if AM is equal to, say, 3 volt, AM is 3 volt, you are asked to find out KF. How you will find out that? Right. So given beta is equal to 0.6. Remember what is beta? Right. Beta is nothing but what? Is equal to KF into AM divided by FM. Right. So here, you don't know what is KF. AM, it is given to be equal to 3 volt. Right. And FM is 150 hertz. So this is equal to, say, 0.6. So what will be KF? You can easily find it out, right? So KF will be equal to, KF is equal to 0.6 into, 0.6 into 150 divided by 3, right? This is how we can find KF, and the unit of KF will be hertz per volts, right? And unit of beta will be radians per volts, right? So this is also a kind of problem. So you may get, right. So if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask, right. So S of t will be given. You may be asked to find out so many parameters, right? So many parameters depending on the time domain expression of S of t. So if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. You can either type it in chat window, right? So if such problems are there, will you be able to solve it? That is my question. Right, no response. Yes, those are simple. We have solved similar problems in AM, so I don't think, right. So anyhow, I don't know whether you have seen in first module. I have uploaded right a PDF file, right, which is taken from actually what Haribut book or many solved examples, right? Many solved examples from Haribut book I have solved. So in that, some of the problems are irrelevant to your syllabus, right? But some problems are actually what with respect to our syllabus. You can refer that also. Did anyone see that in Canvas I have posted? Did anyone see that sold out examples from Haribut book which I have posted? If you have not seen, right, it is there. Right, please see that also. So it's detailed sold examples from that book. Right. So okay, now this is about problem from FM, right? So from FM, so now we'll directly move on to actually what first internal portions, right? First internal, maybe I'll call it study guide, right? First internal study guide. So this is what you are supposed to study. So we'll start with second module. Second module, we have only actually what? Two topics, right? Two topics in the sense. First topic is actually what? Basics of angle modulation, right? Basics of angle modulation. In this, right, we have definition of angle modulation. Definition in the sense you should be able to tell what is PM, right? What is FM, right? And yeah, then average frequency, then instantaneous frequency, all those things, right? The definitions, then properties, properties of angle modulation. So in basics, we have these things: definition and properties of angle modulation. And second one is singleton FM, singleton frequency modulation. We have narrowband FM and we have wideband FM, right? So in both these cases, you should be able to actually what? In the time domain and frequency domain. Expressions, plus you should be able to plot spectra, right? So spectra, when I say spectra, it is actually what? Magnitude spectrum. Whatever we are plotting, it is actually what? Magnitude spectrum, right? We are least bothered about phase spectrum. Am I audible? Right, I didn't. Okay, yes, I didn't unmute. I didn't mute it, right? Okay, fine. Yeah. So this is what, right, we have in single tone FM. So from this, right, you should be able to either derive the expression for time domain like function or frequency domain function, or plot the spectra, or else you may get simple problems. Should be able to solve simple problems, the ones which like which I've discussed today, right? Say simple problems either using standard expressions, right? So simple problem, it can either be based on actually what comparison with standard expression, right? Or say frequency domain of wideband FM, right? I'm just right for that. If you see the previous video and um, right, and whatever we have discussed about this wideband FM in today's session, right? So this is all what you have to learn from second module, right? Any doubt in this? So please feel free to ask if you have any doubt, right? So from where you should learn something like that. If it is there, please do unmute and ask. Any doubt? Can I move ahead to first module topics? Any doubt in second module topics for first internal? No. Thank you, Sherwin, for right. Right. Now we'll move on to second module topic. Right. Sorry, first module topic. Right. First module, right, we studied about amplitude modulation, right? We studied about amplitude modulation, right? So in amplitude modulation, first thing what we have learned is standard AM, right? First thing what we have learned is standard AM. Mohammed Ansar. Yeah. And second thing what we have learned is I'll just right. So in standard AM, right? In standard AM, we have studied what is the definition, right? What is the definition, then time domain expression, frequency domain expression, right? And also we saw how to plot spectrum, right? And then we have seen what are the drawbacks, right? We have seen what are the drawbacks of standard AM, right? Then we have studied about generation using switching modulator, right? And envelope detection. Right. So definition and time domain expression, that is AC into 1 plus K M of t cos 2 pi FCT, right? Then you can expand it, right? And then we'll get the frequency domain expression, right? It will have carrier, then it will have upper sideband, lower sideband, right? So then we can plot a spectrum assuming M of F to be like this, right? Assuming M of F to be like this, right? You can plot a spectrum of standard AM, right? So then it has drawback, right? The carrier, what is being transmitted along with the standard AM, it is actually what redundant. It is wastage of power. Also, bandwidth is 2W or twice the maximum frequency content in FM, right? So those are the drawbacks, right? So then we studied the generation of standard AM using switching modulator. Switching modulator, right? It was a simple circuit which used actually what C of T and M of T in series, and we had a diode and a resistor, and of course this should be right. This should be given to a band pass filter. Then only we will get actually what the required standard AM, right? So this is switching modulator, right? Switching modulator derivation, some of you have asked me, right? So just to send switching modulator derivation, right? So maybe switching modulator derivation, that PPT which we have done, I'll just share that, right? All the PPTs which you have done, I'll share that. Sherwin had requested me to share PPTs. I'll share the PPTs today after the session. I'll share PPTs in Canvas, right? So, but those PPTs, some portions will be blank. Why? Because I intentionally left those portions blank. I'll be writing it down while taking class, right? So those portions will be blank. If you can fill that those portions, then that will be your study guide, right? So okay, then switching modulator. Then we have envelope detector. Envelope detector, again a diode followed by a low pass filter. Right, that was envelope detector. So for all these things, you should be able to draw the circuit, right? Explain the working with the help of waveform and relevant mathematical expressions. So that was there in standard AM. So any doubt in this standard AM part? So also we had actually what the concepts like Ka and the modulation index and all those things, right? So, but mostly we were dealing it with actually what single tone AM, right? We were dealing it with single tone. So this is actually what initial standard AM, right? So then, as a like sub part of this special case of this, we have studied about single tone amplitude modulation, where the message signal M of t is equal to AM cos 2 pi FMT. Right. Then we obtain the time domain expression. Then we obtain the frequency domain expression for this also. Right. Same thing. But we didn't. Yeah. Time domain expression, frequency domain expression, spectrum. Right. Those also you should be able to do. And we had some actually what problems on power. Right. Power calculation or efficiency sort of problem. Right. So mu square by 2 plus mu square. So we have solved such problems, right? We have solved such problems. So those problems also. But if you know exactly what is this, what is the standard form, and right, if you have to obtain the time, if you know to obtain the time domain expression and frequency domain expression, then nothing else is there. The additional prerequisites which you should be able to, which you should know is actually what you should know what is actually what cos A cos B, right? Or in some cases cos of A plus B or cos A sin B, right? Such things you should know, and also you should know the spectrum of AC cos 2 pi FCT is right half del of F minus FC plus del of F plus FC. I'm sorry. Right. So these are the prerequisites. So in standard AM and single tone AM, any doubt is there? Any doubt in this? Please. No. Right. So you'll be able to study these things, and I would recommend you, right, not to see individual like topics as actually what different topics, and don't attack them individually. So there is a flow. If you see there is a flow, right, try to follow that flow, right? So be comfortable with the prerequisites, right? Then you don't have to what by heart anything, right? You won't have to by heart anything if you're comfortable with the prerequisites. Otherwise you will have to what individual topics you will have to what study independently, and you will have to sort of by heart it. I don't recommend that, right? But I'm not right. So if someone has a habit of doing that, I'm not asking you to change at the last moment, but the better way what I feel is right having a flow, right? So being comfortable with prerequisite and right going with the flow, that would be the better way, right? So that is the first one is standard AM and single tone AM, right? So the second one was double sideband suppressed carrier modulation. So we have seen standard AM has certain drawback, right? The carrier is redundant, carrier power, right, is redundant even when modulation index is equal to 1. That is the maximum efficiency case. Only 1/3 of the total power is in sideband, 2/3 is in carrier, right? So that is actually what wastage. So if we can somehow suppress the carrier, that would be great. So DSBSC we have studied. So DSBSC again, what is definition? Time domain expression. So in most of the cases, it's the same thing only, right? Time domain expressions, frequency domain expression, right? So spectrum of DSBSC, the spectrum of DSBSC, the only difference is that carrier won't be there. Only upper sideband and lower sideband will be there, right? So then, do we have any drawback for DSBSC? Yes, we do have here. Even though it is power efficient compared to standard AM, right? The bandwidth efficiency is not improved. Bandwidth requirement is still 2W or 2FM, right? So, and that is about actually what DSBSC. So DSBSC, these things, definition, time domain expression, frequency domain expression, spectrum, drawbacks, right, or applications, right? Everything remains same for all the modulation schemes. So in DSBSC, additionally, what we have learned is generation using ring modulator, right? So ring modulator, generation using ring modulator, right? Then coherent detection, right? Coherent detection, it was a general case. Coherent detection, right? Then we had a practical coherent detector, that is actually what COSTAS receiver, right? So when we were discussing about coherent detection and COSTAS receiver, we came across a topic that is actually what called quadrature null effect, right? We came across a topic called quadrature null effect. Right, so this is actually what comes in coherent detection only, coherent detection part only, right? Those things are. So COSTAS receiver is a practical coherent detector we have seen. So this, there is a, in COSTAS receiver, there is, it's a negative feedback system. There is a phase discriminator followed by a voltage controlled oscillator, which will actually what correct for the phase and all those things. So this coherent detection or COSTAS receiver, with the help of block diagram and relevant equations, you should be able to what explain what is it, right? What does a COSTAS receiver or what is a coherent detector, right? And what is meant by quadrature null effect, right? So and apart from that, we have seen using quadrature null effect, actually what we have something called quadrature carrier multiplexing, right? We have discussed about quadrature carrier multiplexing. That is nothing but making use of this quadrature null effect, right? We can use cosine and sine of same frequency to multiplex two signals, M1 of t and M2 of t, right? So with a given bandwidth of 2 FM, we can transmit two signals, right? That is actually what quadrature carrier multiplexing, right? So that again we have learned DSBSC, quadrature carrier multiplexing, and we have studied about frequency division multiplexing also, right? FDM also we have learned. FDM block diagram and explanation also we have learned, right? Frequency division multiplexing is we are using different frequencies to modulate different, different messages will be modulating different frequency carriers, right? Then it will be multiplexed and transmitted. At the receiver end, we'll be using actually what different bandpass filters followed by coherent detectors, right? So that is frequency division multiplexing. So in DSBSC, what we have is ring modulator, right? Ring modulator, the circuit diagram and working explanation, right? And maybe obtaining the time domain expression of ring modulator, that again we have done, right? Obtaining time domain expression of ring modulator, then coherent detector and COSTAS receiver. With the help of block diagram and relevant mathematical expression, you should be able to explain it. So in DSBSC, any doubt, any doubt in DSBSC? Are you clear what is to be learned in? Okay, some ring modulator. Understanding the ring modulator. Okay, fine. So maybe yeah. Okay. So Sherwin has typed some have problem in understanding ring modulation, like effect of current due to M of t in input secondary to output in C of t. Please, should I explain it now, Sherwin?
Like at the end, if we have time.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Sure. Right. I'll do that. So I think in one of the doubt clearing sessions, someone has asked, had asked me that doubt, and I have explained. I don't remember. I think it was Shreyas
Yes,
or
Prajwal,
someone.
Prajwal.
Prajwal. Yeah. Okay. Maybe only in that. Right. So yeah, I'll just maybe we'll just finish off the topics and then we'll come to it. Right. So DSBSC, these are the topics. Are you clear about what is to be learned? So no, right. What to study? Are you clear in DSBSC? Whichever is if the concepts are not clear, okay, fine. That you can actually all make it clear. But what are the topics to be studied? Is that clear in DSBSC? Okay, fine. So now we'll move on to next one. Right after DSBSC, what we have is SSB. Right, SSB and VSB. Right. If you see this in new syllabus, SSB and VSB, we have only qualitative um, approach. Right. So SSB, how it can be obtained and all. Right. So, but in in additional sessions, right, we have this explained a little bit in detail about time domain description of SSB, right, and about that filter modeling of VSB and all, right. So I don't want you to what study those additional things now, except that maybe yeah, SSB, right. You can say applications, right. Then advantages or right advantages, drawbacks, right. Then general block diagram treatment, right. So that is if you have a DSBSC signal, if you pass it through a filter which allows only the upper sideband, you will get actually what SSB signal. So that right, you stress on that. Apart from that, I request you to what learn the time domain description of SSB. We have done it in detail, right? Time domain description of SSB. So I don't want you to what go back and study the details of Hilbert transform everything, but only this time domain description of SSB. I want you to be comfortable. So it can maybe in this, even though they have not stressed it in syllabus. In syllabus, they are specifically mentioning these and these topics of this particular textbook. That textbook doesn't have that, but even then, time domain description of SSB, right? It is important. So I request you to study that as well, right? And one more thing, right? If you search in internet, right, you will get so VTU notes, Arun Kumar notes, all those things. You can refer that, but refer that along with whatever we have discussed, right? Along with your prescribed textbook or whatever I have discussed in class, right? There can be a slight differences in approach, right? But I won't tell you should not refer it. Right, you can refer it. Most of you might have seen it, right? But I myself won't actually what recommend. But if you are using, it's okay, right? If you are using, it's okay. Why? Because at the last moment, if you have to prepare for exam, those notes will be very helpful, right? So, anyone saw those notes, right? Maybe Arun Kumar notes or VTU notes and all those things. Did anyone see that? Right? No one. Okay, if someone is referring, I don't have any problem, but you should it should be in compliance with whatever we have in our textbook or whatever we have discussed. That's it, right? Yeah. So and similarly about vestigial sideband modulation also same thing, right? See applications, advantages, drawbacks, general block diagram treatment, right? Then that filter design, all those parts are also important, right? But right, so that is there about SSB and VSB, right? And for SSB, generation detection, right, face discrimination method, frequency discrimination method, all those things are not directly included in your syllabus, right? But anyhow, we I have posted videos regarding that, but I don't want you to what prepare that for first internals, right? Maybe for university exam, we can't tell, so you should be ready with that as well, right? So SSB and VSB, these treatments, general treatments would be fine, right? According to your textbook, if you prepare, that would be fine. But we can't guarantee, right? In university exam, it won't be asked. If in case if it will be asked in university exam, right? We have provided you material, right? You have to refer that. So that is actually what about this topics for first internals. Is it clear? Are you clear with the topics for first internal? What is to be studied? Please, if someone can give me a feedback. Do you at least know what are the topics to be studied for first internal? That is my question. Right. And right, one more important thing is you can't keep, even now it is online instruction mode, you can't keep everything for the last moment, right? You can't finish watching all the videos at a stretch a day before, right? And right, otherwise it's going to be difficult. So from whatever happened so far for first internal, right, right, if you may not have watched it, but from now on, at this from this moment onwards, right, so please try to attend the classes regularly, right? Try to take down lecture notes, right? Try to learn something when you're attending class. That will be really helpful, seriously. Otherwise you are going to be stressed, right? Really, you will be in stress, right? Anyone is feeling stressed now to face first internal? Please be frank. No one is stressed, all are relaxed. Hmm? Oh, now many yes are coming. So what is the reason for that stress? If someone Pratiksha, right? If you may unmute and tell me what is the reason for that stress? Pratiksha,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Why do you think?
First of
Yeah.
all, it is like our first time online
Yes,
like
yes, yes,
internals,
yes.
like when we have to keep the video on and all that.
Yeah, but
Then
that won't be a problem,
we
right?
have to study everything. Yeah,
Study everything. Yeah. So
that is like a normal stress, like
as
normal stress
usual,
whenever we go before exams. Yeah.
right? Second module or subject leaving two subject. What is that? Shavin, you maybe you can unmute and
No, sir.
It's like we have two models per subject. Leaving only two subjects, we don't have any two models, like only zero point 0.5, like PCS and EM. It's
okay.
pressurizing now.
Yeah, that's what, right. Maybe what you should do is the best way, right? In whenever you're attending class, try to get something in that class only, right? During regular live sessions, if you pay attention, then it becomes easy if you have your own lecture notes. Otherwise, sitting at a stretch and studying everything on your own, it is going to be difficult, right? So at least in this, did you attend the talk by your seniors, by Santan and team, Santan, Santesh, Sindura?
No, no, no. I think I had something. I had not gone to that meeting because of
Okay,
something I
okay. In that
forgot.
they might
Some
have
meet I have.
told how stressful, like whenever you enter your final year, it will be even more stressful, right? That time they themselves admitted. So some of them, those who could do well, what they did is they, whenever they are attending class, they try to what learn something from class, right? So that is something what they told to me, right? So that helped them a lot. So maybe you should also follow that. Otherwise, right? Managing stress won't be that easy. Okay, fine. I'm not talking too much on stress and putting you under stress again, right? So maybe I had a doubt, right? I've received a doubt from many people that ring modulator working you didn't understand, right? So it's nothing is there, right? So if you didn't understand, I think the problem will be, so in ring modulator we do have two transformers. Transformer one, it is an audio frequency transformer, right? With center tap, right? With center tap with, right? So normally center tap will tell it is 10 is to 5 is to 5 or something, right? It's nothing but what turns ratio. Maybe you are not familiar with the center tap transformer, that is why you are getting doubt, right? Sherwin, if I may ask, right, whether your doubt is how this carrier is getting suppressed and only message is getting passed.
It's like the working of the diode. When we give the input like M of t, what will be the upper potential at the secondary of the
Okay,
input
okay. Okay,
transformer?
okay, okay. I'll explain. So Shiv Prasad is asking question paper pattern. So I'll tell question paper pattern. You will have 6 questions, right? 6 questions, and out of that you have to answer any five full questions, right? Out of 6 questions, you will have to answer any five full questions, right? So that is the pattern. So Sherwin, I'll just try to give you two concepts, right? Then let me please let me know whether you are able to what appreciate ring modulator, right? So you have a transformer one and transformer two, right? Transformer one, it is actually what an audio frequency transformer. Transformer 2 is a radio frequency transformer. Both are sender tap transformer. Sender tap means it is completely balanced. Number of turns. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Sorry. Yeah. So number of turns above the tap will be exactly equal to number of turns below the tap. Right. And these two, and again here also, number of turns above and number of turns below will be same. Right. So normally when you say a center tap transformer, right, it will be the turns ratio will be written something like this: 10 is to 5 is to 5, which means there will be 10 windings in the, if there are 10 windings in primary, there will be 5 windings in upper secondary and 5 windings in the lower secondary. So this is exactly matched, right? So let us assume the transformer turns ratio is 10 is to 5 is to 5. Here again, it is 5 turns, and 10. Right. I'm just giving you an example, right? So if you say you're giving your carrier here, right? You're giving your carrier here, right? Whichever be the carrier, not a problem. But we assume it to be a square wave, right? A square wave carrier if you are giving here. So what will happen if, right? This is positive. So during positive half cycle, right? During positive half cycle, what will happen is this point will be positive and this point will be negative, right? Are you able to appreciate this? I need someone to be unmuted and give me a quick feedback so that I can, right? May I request Sherwin to unmute yourself and, right, so that it will be, we can go faster, right? So when this point is positive, when this point is negative, how the current will flow? Current will flow like this.
Negative
right.
to positive.
Right. So current will flow in, maybe we have an upper loop and lower loop, right? So here current will flow from top to bottom, and here current will flow from bottom to top. Is it clear?
So can you explain in terms of electrons flow?
Electron flow. So if it is
opposite direction, so that
it will be opposite. Yeah. So electrons will flow actually what? Or else electrons will flow from, say, lower potential to higher potential. Current will flow from higher potential to lower potential. Right. So the direction of current is what I have drawn here, or electron will be flowing opposite to that. Just assume, is that okay?
Okay, fine.
Right. So now you see a current I is flowing upwards and a current I is flowing downwards here. Right. So in this secondary of this transformer, what should induce actually a magnetic field? This current, right? Whatever current is there in this primary, that should induce a magnetic field, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So if a current I is flowing downwards, it will induce a magnetic field, right? So using say right hand thumb rule or whatever, the magnetic field's direction you can find out. Yes
But
or
there
no?
should be a change, no, sir. Like that part
Yeah,
is okay for me. That
yeah.
the square wave thing, it's okay, fine. But the effect of the input, I'm not
Input. Okay,
getting.
okay. This. So are you able to appreciate what the square wave will not contribute to the output?
Yeah. It won't
Right.
count.
So, but the square wave will make our. We have diodes, right? We do have diodes here, right? So this diodes will be switched as current is flowing, as there is an effective potential difference between actually what uh, uh, P and N of the diodes. Because of this, right? This diode will be on or off depending upon this. Are you able to appreciate that?
Yes, sir.
Right. So when diode is on, it is like a short circuit, and when diode is off, it's like an open circuit. Are you able to appreciate that?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what happens is whenever right, during positive half cycle, say diode D1 and D2 will be on. Right. During positive half cycle, diode D1 and D2 will be on, and during negative half cycle, diode D3 and say D4 will be on. In both the cases, it completes the circuit and it allows actually whatever is given at the input to be passed to the output. So whenever any two of the diodes are on, whatever is given at the input, right, that will be passed to the say message is given to primary of audio frequency transformer 1, so that will be passed to secondary of audio frequency transformer, and from there it's actually what connected to this transformer T2. Say this is actually what primary of transformer T2, and from there it will pass to secondary of transformer T2.
Okay, sir.
Right. So is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how carrier is suppressed? The carrier is suppressed only because these turns ratios are perfect and all the diodes are identical. Only if all the diodes are identical and these turns ratios are perfect, we will get carrier suppression. Right. So here they have shown square wave. Even if it is not square wave, even if it is sinusoidal wave, right, with positive and negative parts same or whatever, it should be suppressed. Why? Because current will be actually what in upper and lower part, current will be equal and opposite due to this carrier. That will be cancelled. But as message is given as a whole to this actually what across this low upper and lower terminals, right, it won't be cancelled. Right. So maybe you can apply the principle of superposition. You have carrier and message. When no message is there, only carrier you consider, right? Due to carrier, there is no contribution to the secondary of RF. But now, if you actually neglect this carrier, right, replace the diodes, the respective diodes with short circuit, then consider only this message, there will be a contribution to secondary. So only message is transferred, but the switching on and off of the diode is actually what controlled by this carrier. So there will be right yeah, so and that switching on and off actually what induces this modulation effect. That frequency translation is brought in because of the switching on and off the diode. So maybe if you remember the switching modulator, right, so whenever there is a positive half cycle, diode was on, right, and whenever there was a negative half cycle, diode was off. So we told this is actually what you can replace a diode with actually what multiplication of such a clock pulse, right? Diode can be replaced with multiplication of clock pulse. We told that in switching modulator. So maybe of switching modulator and ring modulator working and derivation I can post once again. Would that be okay? But are you getting this idea now? How carrier is supposed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Now it's clear. Was that your doubt?
Yeah, I was getting when the potential across that secondary of the input matches with that. So
Yeah.
how the current was flowing. Now when I see in separately, it's somewhat
So
clear.
it's actually superposition. You have studied about actually what superposition
Yes, sir.
theorem, right?
Yes,
So it's like if you have multiple sources, right? You consider one at a time, find individual contribution, then add everything, right? Because these are linear things, right? So it should follow superposition. right?
Yes, sir.
And one more concept is actually what diode switching on and off was replaced with rectangular pulses. In switching modulator, we were replacing it with pulse 0 to maximum, and in ring modulator, we'll replace it with plus or minus V and plus V, right? So this is like that multiplication factor, and then what you should do is you should replace it with actually what this is a periodic signal. You have to replace it with its Fourier transform, Fourier series, right? Fourier series expansion of square pulses, right? So in this case, Fourier series expansion is one, and in this case, Fourier series expansion is something different. So I maybe that part, that derivation part, I can send once again. Would that be okay? Even I think Shiv Prasad asked me the doubt, right? He wanted, right? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I think that's it. All the best, and all of you do prepare well, right? And anything else? Do I need to know? Like whether I need to do anything else apart from this ring and switching modulator? No, like if anything is there, please do tell me. Right? Nothing.
Sir,
Okay.
sir. My
Yeah.
friends are asking like how many problems are going to come in this internals.
So maybe you can expect, say, two or three problems. Right. From AM, you can expect some problems, and FM also you can expect problems.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. So if you are planning to do a selective study, right, then select everything, all the topics. Why? Because we have only minimum number of topics. We have to put 6 questions, and each question may have subpart also. So, right, please don't skip. Right, and if any doubt is there, feel free to contact. Right, you can call me or you can even WhatsApp me whenever I see. I'll reply back. Right, if you call me, I can help you clarify your doubt. And if many people have the same doubt, maybe I don't even mind having a Google Meet session to clear that doubt. Right. Yeah. So all the best. Right. All of you, please do prepare well. If any doubt is there, feel free to ask. Right. I used to ask you even before itself. If any doubt is there, feel free to ask at that moment itself. Right. You may think, okay, maybe later on I'll be able to study, but that later will happen only a day before exam. I told initially itself, but not a problem. It happens. That is actually what students' life. But I seriously request you to do a consistent type of preparation, not a day before. If you study one topic a day or something like that, it's easy for me to tell, right? But that would be ideal way to prepare. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's it for today. I think. Thank you so much for joining. Right. So I took right. So and if any doubt is there, those who have any doubt can stay back. Others can leave. All the best. Right. Yeah. So others can leave.